What if I told you that the secret to success isn't some magic formula? It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's definitely not reserved for the chosen few. The truth? The secret to success is already inside you. It's just waiting for you to unleash it. Think about this. Every successful person you admire was once where you are. They had doubts, fears, and failures. But they had something else, an unshakable belief that they could, and that's what separates winners from wishers. Success is not an accident. It's a result of a mindset, relentless action, and an unwillingness to quit. You want to know the difference between those who make it and those who don't? It's decision. The decision to wake up earlier, the decision to push through pain, the decision to rise when life knocks you down. You have two choices right now. You can keep making excuses, telling yourself why you can't, why it's too hard, why it's not your time, or you can decide right here, right now, that nothing will stop you. Success is not a final stop. It is not a trophy you place on a shelf or a milestone you reach and never move beyond. Success is a mindset, a way of thinking, living, and showing up in the world every single day. It is the way you approach challenges, the way you handle setbacks, and the way you push forward even when every part of you wants to quit. People often make the mistake of believing that success is an event, a singular moment in time when everything suddenly falls into place. They tell themselves, I'll be successful when I get that promotion, or I'll finally be happy when I hit a certain financial goal. But that's not success. That's a finish line illusion. Because what happens when you reach that milestone? You may feel a temporary rush of excitement, but soon enough that feeling fades, and you find yourself asking, what now? The truth is, success isn't about hitting one big goal and then stopping. It's about the mindset you carry with you every step of the way. It's about how you think, how you react, and how you adapt. A person with a success mindset doesn't see obstacles as roadblocks, they see them as stepping stones. They don't back down when things get tough, they push harder. They don't let failures define them, they use failures as fuel to get better, stronger, and smarter. Every great achiever, every world-class athlete, every self-made entrepreneur has mastered this way of thinking. They understand that success isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. And it all starts in the mind. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One sees it as a dead end. They believe they are not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed, and because of that, they never do. The other person, with the success mindset, looks at the same challenge and sees opportunity. They might not have all the answers yet, but they believe they can figure it out. They know that with enough effort, enough learning, and enough persistence, they will overcome. That difference in mindset is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who spend their lives making excuses. Success is waking up every day with the intention to be better than you were yesterday. It's understanding that growth never stops, that there is always another level to reach, another lesson to learn, another challenge to conquer. It's about resilience, the ability to bounce back from failures and keep going when things don't go as planned. It's about discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about vision, the ability to see yourself as the person you want to become before the world even recognizes it. The most successful people in the world weren't born with more talent, intelligence, or resources than anyone else. They simply decided to think differently. They trained their minds to see success as a process, not a prize. They committed to the journey, knowing that success isn't something you achieve once and then hold on to forever. It's something you cultivate every single day. This is why some people, even after achieving great things, continue to push forward. Because success isn't about reaching a peak and stopping, it's about continuous growth, continuous learning, continuous improvement. It's about embracing the mindset that no matter how much you achieve, there's always another level. If success were just a destination, people who reached their goals would stop. They would settle. But the most successful individuals in history never settled. They kept going, kept striving, kept raising the bar. They understood that success is not a place, it's a state of mind. Massive action is the great separator between those who dream about success and those who achieve it. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the ability to take relentless, focused action toward a goal. The world doesn't reward ideas, intentions, or half-hearted efforts. It rewards those who move, those who execute, those who refuse to sit back and wait for things to happen. Success isn't given to those who are the smartest or most prepared. It belongs to those who are willing to take massive, consistent action. There's a reason why so many people talk about what they want, but so few actually achieve it. Most people spend their time thinking, planning, and waiting for the perfect moment. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more time, more resources, or more confidence. They get caught in analysis paralysis, stuck in a cycle of hesitation, overthinking, and doubt. But success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who create the moment by taking action. Massive action means going all in. It means doing more than what's comfortable, more than what's expected, and more than what most people are willing to do. It's the entrepreneur who doesn't just launch a business but immerses themselves in it, working early mornings and late nights, testing new strategies and learning from every failure. It's the athlete who doesn't just show up to practice but puts in extra hours, studies their competition, and pushes themselves past exhaustion. It's the person who doesn't just say they want a better life but is willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. The problem is that most people stop at the first sign of struggle. They take a little bit of action, face resistance, and then retreat. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be, that they'll try again later, that maybe success is reserved for someone else. But those who truly understand the power of massive action don't stop. They don't slow down. They keep pushing forward, even when it's hard, even when they're exhausted, even when the results aren't coming as fast as they'd like. Success is a numbers game. The more action you take, the more opportunities you create, the more you try, the more you learn. The more you fail, the closer you get to success. Most people fail once and give up. Those who take massive action fail 10, 20, or 50 times and keep going. They understand that every failure is just a lesson, every setback is just a stepping stone, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Massive action doesn't mean reckless action. It doesn't mean running in every direction without a plan. It means being strategic, focused, and disciplined. It means setting clear goals, identifying the necessary steps, and executing with intensity. It means constantly adapting, improving, and refining your approach as you move forward. It means never settling for mediocrity and refusing to accept anything less than the best from yourself. The greatest breakthroughs happen when you push past the point where most people stop. Most people will take some action, but only a few will take enough action to create real momentum. The difference between struggling and succeeding is the level of intensity and persistence behind the effort. Those who succeed don't just work hard, they work relentlessly. They don't just try once and quit, they keep going until they get results. They don't just take small steps, they take massive leaps. Wishing won't get you there, wishing won't get you there, hoping won't get you there. The only thing that will move you forward is action. Big, bold, unstoppable action. The kind of action that makes people take notice. The kind of action that changes everything. Your beliefs are the foundation of your life. They shape the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately the results you get. Everything you have or don't have right now is a reflection of the beliefs you hold about yourself, about the world, and about what is possible. Some people spend their lives trapped by limiting beliefs, convinced that they can only go so far, that they can only achieve so much. Others break through every barrier because they refuse to accept anything less than the life they want. The difference isn't talent, intelligence, or resources. It's belief. Belief is the driving force behind success or failure. When you believe something is possible, you open your mind to opportunities, solutions, and creative ways to make it happen. When you believe something is impossible, you close yourself off before you even try. The mind is powerful, and whatever you feed it, it will accept as truth. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, that success is for other people, that you're unlucky, then your brain will find ways to make those beliefs a reality. You will subconsciously sabotage your efforts, hesitate when you should act, and settle for less than you deserve. But if you tell yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are unstoppable, your mind will work to reinforce that reality as well. Think about the most successful people in the world. They weren't born with unshakable confidence or limitless belief in themselves. They built it. They trained their minds to reject doubt, to silence negativity, and to focus on what is possible rather than what is difficult. They understand that belief isn't just a feeling, it's a decision, it's a choice. To trust in your abilities, to back yourself even when no one else does, and to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Your beliefs determine how you respond to failure. Some people see failure as proof that they're not good enough. They believe that if they don't succeed right away, it means they never will. Others believe that failure is just part of the process, that every setback is a lesson, that every mistake brings them one step closer to success. The way you interpret failure is dictated by what you believe about yourself. If you believe that you're resilient, that you're adaptable, that you're someone who always finds a way, then failure doesn't break you, it builds you. The same applies to challenges and obstacles. Some people see a challenge and immediately think, this is too hard, I can't do this. Others see the same challenge and think, this is tough, but I'll figure it out. The only difference is belief. Your mind is always listening to what you tell it. If you consistently tell yourself that you're not good enough, your mind will work to make that statement true. If you tell yourself that you're capable of overcoming anything, your mind will find ways to make that true as well. Beliefs are not fixed, they are learned and they can be changed. Most of the beliefs that hold people back were programmed into them by their upbringing, their environment, or past experiences. Maybe someone told them they weren't smart enough, strong enough, or talented enough. Maybe they tried something once, failed, and decided that failure defined them. But beliefs are not facts, they are just thoughts that have been repeated so many times they feel like reality. The good news is that just as limiting beliefs are learned, empowering beliefs can be learned as well. Rewiring your beliefs starts with awareness. It requires questioning the thoughts that run through your mind every day and challenging the ones that don't serve you. It means replacing self-doubt with self-confidence, excuses with solutions, and fear with faith in your own abilities. It means understanding that you are in control of your reality because you are in control of what you believe. When you shift your beliefs, you shift your entire world. Discomfort is the gateway to growth. Every breakthrough, every moment of transformation, every leap forward in life happens when you step beyond what is familiar, what is easy, what feels safe. The truth is, the life you want exists on the other side of discomfort. But most people spend their entire lives avoiding it. They seek comfort, stability, and predictability, thinking that if they can just stay in their bubble, they'll be happy. What they don't realize is that by avoiding discomfort, they are also avoiding growth, opportunity, and the chance to become something more. Discomfort is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you are exactly where you need to be. Every time you push yourself into the unknown, you activate a part of yourself that would have remained dormant otherwise. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when things challenge you, when they test you, when they stretch you beyond what you thought you were capable of. If you look at the most successful people in the world, you will see one thing in common. They have all mastered the art of being uncomfortable. They have trained themselves to embrace struggle, to push through pain, to do what most people are unwilling to do. Most people think discomfort is a signal to stop, but the truth is, it's a signal to keep going. The first time you do anything new, it feels uncomfortable. The first time you speak in front of a crowd, your heart races, your palms sweat, your voice shakes. The first time you push yourself in the gym, your muscles burn, your body aches, your mind tells you to quit. The first time you start a business, you face uncertainty, doubt, fear of failure. But if you quit the moment you feel discomfort, you never reach the next level. You never become stronger, wiser, more capable. Growth requires resistance. Just like a muscle needs tension to grow, your mind, your skills, your confidence all require challenge to develop. The more you embrace discomfort, the more resilient you become. What once felt impossible starts to feel normal. What once scared you becomes second nature. The things that used to intimidate you no longer hold you back. You adapt, you evolve, you rise. This is how progress works. You don't grow by avoiding the hard things, you grow by facing them head on. People who avoid discomfort stay stuck. They never push themselves beyond their limits, so they never discover what they are truly capable of. They make excuses, convincing themselves that they are ready, that they don't have what it takes, that now isn't the right time. But the truth is, they are just afraid of the discomfort that comes with growth. They let fear dictate their actions instead of using fear as a compass to guide them toward their greatest potential. The most successful people are not the ones who have it easy. They are the ones who get comfortable being uncomfortable. They step into uncertainty with courage. They do the things that scare them. They understand that pain is temporary, but the rewards of growth last forever. They push themselves not because they enjoy struggle, but because they know that struggle is the price of greatness. They take risks, knowing that failure is just part of the process. They embrace challenges, knowing that every challenge makes them stronger. The moment you stop fearing discomfort is the moment you set yourself free. When you no longer see struggle as something to avoid, but as something to embrace, you unlock a power within yourself that most people never tap into. You stop running from hard things and start seeking them out, knowing that they are the key to your transformation. You stop settling for what's easy and start demanding more from yourself. This is the mindset that leads to success, to breakthroughs, to a life that is truly extraordinary. Your life is not shaped by the big moments, it is shaped by what you do every single day. The small, seemingly insignificant actions you repeat consistently are what determine your success, your happiness, and your future. This is the power of daily rituals. Most people underestimate the impact of their daily habits because they expect success to come from a single, massive breakthrough. They believe that one lucky break, one big opportunity, or one major effort will change everything. But real transformation happens through the simple, disciplined routines that compound over time. Your rituals define your results. The way you start your morning, the way you approach your work, the way you take care of your body and mind, these are the things that shape your destiny. Look at the most successful people in the world. They don't rely on motivation. They don't leave their success to chance. They have structured rituals that keep them focused, energized, and disciplined. They understand that greatness is not about what you do once in a while, but about what you do every single day, whether you feel like it or not. A powerful morning routine can set the tone for the entire day. How you spend the first hour after waking up influences your mindset, your energy, and your productivity. Some people wake up and immediately check their phones, filling their minds with distractions and stress before they even get out of bed. Others take control of their mornings, using that time to move their bodies, feed their minds, and set clear intentions for the day. The difference between these two approaches is the difference between a life of chaos and a life of purpose. Discipline is built through consistent action. When you commit to a daily ritual, whether it's reading for 30 minutes, exercising, meditating, or setting goals, you are training yourself to be disciplined. You are proving to yourself that you have control over your actions, over your focus, over your habits. And once discipline becomes a part of who you are, success becomes inevitable. It is no longer a question of if you will achieve your goals, but when. Small habits, repeated consistently, lead to massive results. The person who reads for 30 minutes a day may not notice a difference in a week, but in a year, they have consumed knowledge that puts them ahead of 99% of people. The person who exercises every day may not see immediate transformation, but over time, their body becomes stronger, healthier, and more capable. The person who writes down their goals and takes action toward them every single day will achieve more in 1 year than most people do in a lifetime. Success is not about intensity, it is about consistency. The challenge is that most people give up before they see the results. They start a ritual, but because they don't see immediate progress, they stop. They go to the gym for a week, don't see any visible change, and quit. They read a book, don't instantly become more successful, and stop. They set goals, don't see instant results, and lose motivation. What they don't realize is that success is a game of accumulation. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a deposit into your future. The results may not show up today, but they are coming. Your rituals are your foundation. They keep you grounded when life gets chaotic. They give you structure when things feel uncertain. They ensure that you are making progress even when you don't feel like it. The most successful people don't rely on willpower alone. They build habits that make success automatic. They create an environment that supports their growth. They eliminate distractions and make it easy to stay on track. They understand that success is not built in a day, it is built daily. Failure is not the end of the road, it is the beginning of growth. Every successful person, every great achiever, every innovator has faced failure. Not once, not twice, but countless times. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, it is how they respond to it. Some see failure as proof that they are not good enough, that they should stop, that they are not meant to succeed. Others see failure as feedback, as a lesson, as a necessary step towards something greater. Most people are afraid of failure because they associate it with pain, disappointment, and rejection. They avoid taking risks, not because they lack potential, but because they fear the feeling of falling short. But failure is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone, that you are trying, that you are in the game. The people who never fail are the people who never try. They stay on the sidelines playing it safe, avoiding any situation where they might fall, but in doing so, they also avoid any chance of real success, real breakthroughs, real transformation. Every failure contains a lesson. If you look at failure as a roadblock, you stop. If you look at it as a stepping stone, you grow. When a baby learns to walk, they don't get it right the first time. They fall again and again, but they don't quit. They don't decide that walking isn't for them. They get back up, make adjustments, and keep going. Over time, they become stronger, more stable, more confident. That process never changes. Whether you are learning a new skill, building a business, or transforming your life, failure is part of the journey. It is how you refine your strategy, how you strengthen your resilience, how you develop the grit necessary to reach your goals. Some of the most successful people in history failed more times than most people ever try. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each time he adjusted, improved, and kept going. He didn't see failure as a stop sign, he saw it as progress. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't let that failure define him. He used it as fuel to work harder, to push himself, to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. These stories are not exceptions, they are the rule. Behind every major success is a series of failures that most people never see. The key is to detach failure from identity. Failing at something does not mean you are a failure. It simply means you are in the process of learning, growing, and improving. The moment you stop fearing failure is the moment you set yourself free. You stop hesitating, stop holding back, stop avoiding the hard things that have the power to change your life. You take risks, knowing that even if you fall, you will rise stronger. People who succeed don't avoid failure. They embrace it. They understand that every mistake, every setback, every rejection is part of the process. They don't dwell on what went wrong, they focus on what they can learn. They don't see failure as a reason to stop. They see it as proof that they are moving forward. This mindset is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for less. The real failure is not trying, the real failure is allowing the fear of falling to keep you from taking the first step. Every great success story begins with a person who is willing to fail, to learn, and to keep going. The faster you fail, the faster you grow. The more you embrace failure, the more unstoppable you become. Because failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. The people you surround yourself with shape your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your future. If you want to achieve greatness, you must surround yourself with greatness. You cannot expect to rise if you are constantly pulled down by negative influences, limited mindsets, and small thinking. Success is not just about what you do, it is about who you spend your time with, who you learn from, and who you allow to influence your energy and mindset. Look at any high achiever and you will see that they did not reach their level of success alone. They were surrounded by people who challenged them, pushed them, inspired them, and demanded more from them. They associated with those who had already achieved what they were striving for. They immersed themselves in environments that encourage growth rather than complacency. Success is contagious, but so is mediocrity. If you spend your time with people who make excuses, complain, and settle for less, you will adopt the same mindset. If you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, driven, and committed to growth, you will elevate yourself to their level. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower. You may have big dreams, but if the people around you do not support those dreams, you will constantly feel resistance. If you are surrounded by people who doubt you, criticize you, or do not believe in pushing boundaries, it will be nearly impossible to maintain the level of motivation and belief necessary to succeed. However, if you put yourself in an environment where success is the norm, where high standards are expected, where growth is constant, you will naturally rise to meet those expectations. Heightness requires accountability. The most successful people in the world have mentors, coaches, and peers who hold them to a higher standard. They do not allow themselves to make excuses because they are surrounded by people who do not tolerate mediocrity. They are constantly learning, refining their skills, and seeking feedback from those who have walked the path before them. They understand that growth does not happen in isolation. It happens in the presence of those who challenge you to be better. It is not just about who you physically surround yourself with, it is also about what you feed your mind. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, all of these things contribute to the environment you create for yourself. If you cannot physically be around high achievers yet, you can still learn from them. You can absorb their wisdom, study their habits, and adopt their mindset. Success leaves clues, and the more you immerse yourself in the thoughts and strategies of great people, the more you begin to think and operate like them. Sometimes elevating your circle means letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. This does not mean you stop caring about people. It means you recognize that not everyone is meant to go on the journey with you. Some people will resist your growth because it makes them uncomfortable. Some will try to hold you back because they are afraid of being left behind. Others simply do not have the mindset or the ambition to match where you are going. You must be willing to distance yourself from anything and anyone that pulls you away from your highest potential. Success is not just about hard work. It is about positioning yourself in an environment that makes success inevitable. When you are constantly exposed to high achievers, you start thinking bigger. When you are around people who refuse to settle, you raise your own standards. When you surround yourself with winners, you start winning. The energy, mindset, and habits of those around you become your own, and when that energy is one of greatness, success becomes the only possible outcome. To decide, commit, and conquer is a powerful sequence that holds the key to transforming your life. It is a simple but profoundly effective framework that, when implemented, will enable you to achieve things you never thought possible. These three words, decide, commit, and conquer, are not just actions, but mindsets. They are the essential components of success, and when you embody them, they become the driving forces behind your every move, your every choice, and your every success. The first step in this transformative journey is to decide. Deciding is the act of making a conscious, deliberate choice. It is about drawing a line in the sand and declaring, "This is where I stand, and this is the direction I'm going." Too many people fail to achieve their goals because they are indecisive. They hesitate, they waver, and they allow doubt and fear to cloud their judgment. But the power of decision cannot be overstated. When you make a firm decision, you stop all the inner conflict. You eliminate the what-ifs and the second-guessing. You commit yourself to a path and trust that the decision you make will carry you forward. The decision is the starting point of everything. It's the moment you take full ownership of your future. When you decide, you stop being a passive observer of your life and become an active participant. You choose to take charge. You declare that you are no longer waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. The truth is, there is never a perfect time to make a decision. The perfect moment is always now. You decide to take action, regardless of the challenges or the unknowns that lie ahead. The decision itself is a commitment to growth, to improvement, and to moving forward. Once you decide, everything begins to align itself in your favor because the universe responds to your clarity. The second step is to commit. Making a decision is one thing, but following through with that decision requires commitment. Commitment is the force that transforms intention into reality. It is the act of standing by your decision and dedicating yourself to the work required to make it happen. When you commit, You don't just make a promise to others, you make a promise to yourself. You set a standard and you hold yourself to it. Committing means you are no longer playing at life, you are living it with full intention and purpose. Commitment is the key that keeps you on course when things get tough. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well, but it's when the road gets rough that your commitment is tested. It is in those moments of doubt, fear, and frustration that you must rely on your commitment. You commit to showing up, to doing the work, and to continuing even when it seems like progress is slow or non-existent. Commitment means you will not quit no matter how difficult things get. You will find a way to keep going, to learn, to adapt, and to improve. It's in the moments when the challenges seem insurmountable that your commitment will be your greatest ally. Commitment also involves a deep belief in yourself and your purpose. When you are truly committed, you do not allow external circumstances to dictate your actions. You are resolute in your pursuit, unwavering in your resolve. Your commitment creates an unshakable foundation from which you can operate regardless of the noise or distractions around you. When you commit, you are sending a powerful message to the universe. I am ready. I will do whatever it takes. The final step is to conquer. Conquering is the result of making a decision and staying committed. It is the moment when you realize that all your hard work, your dedication, and your resilience have paid off. But conquering doesn't always look like a big victory or a grand success. Sometimes conquering is simply the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you stuck with your commitment, that you faced your challenges, and that you persevered. Conquering is the culmination of all the small wins, the incremental steps, the growth that occurs when you stay on course no matter what. It's the ability to look back and see how far you've come, knowing that the journey itself has shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Conquering is also about the impact you create along the way. It's not just about achieving a goal, it's about how your achievements ripple out and affect others. The more you conquer, the more you become an example of what's possible. You inspire others to take action, to make decisions, to commit, and to conquer their own challenges. The act of conquering becomes a source of empowerment, not just for yourself, but for everyone you touch. You become a beacon of possibility, showing others that it is possible to go from decision to commitment to conquest, no matter where they start or how difficult their journey may seem. Conquering is not always a smooth path. It often involves overcoming obstacles, navigating setbacks, and dealing with failure. But these moments are not failures in the traditional sense. They are opportunities for growth. Every challenge you face is a chance to learn, to adapt, and to emerge stronger. To conquer is not to avoid hardship, but to embrace it, to move through it with determination and resilience, and to let it refine you. The journey to conquering your goals will shape you in ways that you cannot fully comprehend in the moment, but each experience along the way will make you more equipped to handle the next challenge, to rise to the next occasion, and to push past the next limitation. The true power of this process lies in its simplicity. Decide, commit, conquer. Each step builds upon the next, creating momentum, progress, and success. The beauty of this formula is that it puts you in the driver's seat of your life. It empowers you to take control of your destiny and create the outcomes you desire. There is no magic, no waiting for external circumstances to change. It is all within your power. You have the ability to decide your path, to commit to it fully, and to conquer whatever obstacles stand in your way. The only question is, are you ready to take the first step? The journey to success is not reserved for the lucky few. It is available to anyone who is willing to do the work. The key to unlocking your potential lies not in extraordinary talents or resources, but in your mindset, your commitment, and your daily actions. Each of the principles we've explored, embracing discomfort, surrounding yourself with greatness, deciding, committing, and conquering, are not just motivational catchphrases. They are the essential building blocks of a life that leads to fulfillment and achievement. Success is a mindset. It is the way you perceive challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. It is the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals, regardless of the obstacles in your way. It starts with the internal shift that occurs when you truly understand that you are in control of your destiny. Success is not a destination, but a journey of growth that requires perseverance, resilience, and a willingness to stretch beyond your comfort zone, Massive action creates massive results. Taking consistent, determined steps every day toward your goals is the key to progress. You cannot wait for the perfect moment or until all the conditions are ideal. You must act, even in the face of uncertainty. It is in taking action that you will uncover new opportunities, refine your strategies, and learn invaluable lessons. Success is not about making grand gestures. It's about showing up and doing the work, day after day. Your beliefs are the lens through which you view the world, and they dictate your reality. If you believe that you are capable of greatness, you will find ways to achieve it. If you believe that you are destined for mediocrity, your actions will reflect that. Changing your beliefs is not an easy task, but it is a necessary one. If you can shift your mindset, you can change the course of your life. Every thought you think and every belief you hold is either building you up or holding you back. Discomfort is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are growing. Every great achievement requires you to step outside of your comfort zone, to push through the moments of doubt and struggle. Embracing discomfort allows you to tap into your true potential and develop the resilience necessary for success. It is through discomfort that you refine your skills, gain clarity, and discover the strength you didn't know you had. Your daily rituals are the cornerstone of your success. They are the actions that, when done consistently, compound over time to create results. It's not the one big effort that makes the difference, but the small, consistent actions that you take every day. Whether it's reading, exercising, meditating, or working toward your goals, these rituals create the foundation upon which you build your success. They provide the discipline, focus, and energy necessary to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Failure is not a roadblock, it is a stepping stone. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. It is the lessons we take from our failures that help us succeed. Those who succeed are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it as part of the process. They understand that failure is simply feedback, and with every failure, they are one step closer to their ultimate success. Surrounding yourself with greatness is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. The people you spend your time with, the thoughts you expose yourself to, and the environment you immerse yourself in will either lift you up or pull you down. By choosing to surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you, you set yourself up for greatness. You become who you associate with, and by aligning yourself with those who elevate you, you will rise to meet your fullest potential in the end. Success is a choice. It is not something that happens by chance or because of luck. Success is the result of your decisions, your commitment, and your willingness to conquer the challenges that arise. When you decide to take action, commit fully to your goals, and embrace the journey, you cannot help but achieve greatness. The path is not easy, but it is the most rewarding one you will ever take.